Boy, do I have a treat for you guys today. This was brought to my attention by a great viewer and a supporter of the Cajun Cardboard channel, and this is why I started the channel. This is why I love the engagement and the input from you guys in the hobby and that watch the channel. And this is why I have 30,000 people watching this channel, because I keep sharing the stuff that you guys bring to my attention. ChatGPT can help you estimate the grade that you will receive from PSA on your raw basketball card. Yes, you heard me right. You may not like artificial intelligence. You may bury your head in the sand. You may be in denial, but baby, buckle up, because it's coming, and it's coming to the sports card hobby, whether you like it or not. That's what today's video is about. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to tell you what ChatGPT is capable of doing and give you a little bit of an example. I can't wait to revisit this issue in about 30 or 60 days after a bunch of you guys out there try this.
See why Card Ladder is the industry leader in sports card data. We know what you want, because Card Ladder was created by collectors for collectors. Card Ladder. Join the innovators, not the imitators.
Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana. And as I alluded to in the thumbnail, this video that I'm doing today would not have been done if I had not got a message on Instagram from Scott H., who is a big supporter of the channel, who watches the channel, but might be a little bit camera shy. He told me, did you know ChatGPT can look at your basketball cards and give you an estimated grade from PSA using the specific standards that PSA has on its website: centering, surface, corners, edges, and talk through all the ramifications and the parameters and the likelihood of getting a certain grade? He's done it. And he has one card example, but he's got about 20 or 30 more cards at PSA right now, where he has created a spreadsheet and he's got an estimated grade projected by ChatGPT, and then he's just waiting on PSA over the next 5 or 6 months, unfortunately, to get the grades back to him, and then he's going to compare those, and we're going to revisit this when those grades come in, because Scott's going to reach back out to me, and he's going to give me the results, and I'm going to share the spreadsheet with you, and we'll just see how good of a grader ChatGPT is. The hobby's been begging for AI grading forever. Well, now it's here, it's free, but again, it's just an estimate. You can't put it in a ChatGPT slab and put a cert number on it, and there's no ChatGPT set registry either. So let me screen share with you and show you what I did. So the first thing and foremost, I just typed into ChatGPT, and this is after the fact, right? Scott told me about it, so I went to ChatGPT, and I was like, what happens, you know, and if I just plug in, can you help me determine the likely grade of my basketball card using the standards of PSA grading? ChatGPT responds, I can definitely help you evaluate your card using PSA grading standards. Wait, maybe is ChatGPT British? I can't give you an official grade. Only PSA can. I can't do an Australian accent. I can do a Russian accent, but I can walk you through the process so you can estimate whether your card is closer to a PSA 7, 8, 9, or 10. I guess PSA 6 is off the table. Back to Cajun. To do this best, you should either upload clear, high-resolution photos of the card, front and back, so at least ChatGPT knows we need front and back because PSA grades both, or describe it in detail. I don't think describing your card with words is probably going to yield a very accurate result, but here's what PSA looks like. And then ChatGPT basically just rips all this info off the PSA website. PSA 10, they start talking about centering, nearly perfect centering, 55-45, 60-40, 60-40 for PSA 9 or better, 65-35 on the back. Remember, PSA is a little more lenient on back centering than front centering. Anything worse lowers the grade. Tip, measure the borders with a ruler or digitally. I can help you if you upload a scan. They're telling me they can show me measurements of the borders of my card. Again, there's borderless cards out there. There's, Flair Showcase, Legacy Collections, things like that. But there's also like 92 Topps Gold cards, Jordan cards. They've got 4 borders. They're supposed to be equidistant, the same width, equitable width. So ChatGPT can measure those for you. Corners, PSA 10, sharp, no whitening or fraying. Hold the card under light at an angle to check for whitening. They're just kind of giving you little tips here. Edges, of course, clean, no chipping. Surface, no scratches, print line stains. Eye appeal. Even if technical flaws are minor, PSA weighs overall look heavily. A card that looks sharp can bump up. One with dull colors, miscut, or detracting defects can bump down. Rough grading scale, they sort of simplify it for you in layman's terms. And then ChatGPT says, let's get down to business, baby. Let me do this thing for you. If you'd like, upload photos, front and back, high resolution, taken under very good lighting. I can then walk through each category, centering, corners, edges, surface, and give you a likely estimated PSA grade range. Do you want to send me pictures of the card so I can apply these standards directly? I'm not going to use my card. I'm going to show you what Scott has already done. He did the work for me. He's got this this early Nike Jordan Spike Lee card right here as a random example. He had it in a 9.5, and he's actually asked ChatGPT about BGS, SGC, and PSA. So he's got this 9.5 SGC Jordan Spike Lee card from that little, I think it's a 6-card set or whatever. It was an SGC 9.5. He bought it. He thought, hey man, this might have a chance at a PSA 10. The margin between SGC 9.5 and 10 is huge, so why not crack it? So he cracked it. So here's an image of the card in the SGC slab. Here's an image below of the front and back of the card, not in an SGC slab. This is the little spreadsheet that he's created. It's 1991 Nike number 3. And so he plugged into ChatGPT. This is what ChatGPT spit out for him under SGC standards. Let's just skip over here. And I just wanted you to know you can do SGC, you can do BGS, you can do PSA. Let's just read what it says about the PSA standards. Estimated grade based on PSA standards. ChatGPT says PSA 10, probability 35 to 45%. So he thinks you got a 35 to 45% chance. He, she, it, whatever, artificial intelligence, AI, whatever you want to call them, Rodney, whatever your ChatGPT is named. By the way, did you know you can ask your ChatGPT what his or her name is? Reasoning. ChatGPT says the centering looks excellent both front and back. Corners are very sharp and edges show no obvious wear. Gloss is intact. If PSA graders find no microscopic scratches, no print defects, and only natural factory touches, it has a strong shot at a PSA 10. Risk factors preventing a 10. Any tiny whitening on the black borders, especially bottom corners on the back. So here's the deal. ChatGPT knows the front of the card and the back of the card. Well, the front of the card doesn't have any black borders, right? ChatGPT then references specifically the back of the card, which, by the way, does have black borders, which is why this card is worth $1 billion in PSA 10, because these black borders, these edges and corners are all black, all 4 sides on the back. That's what keeps your card from getting a PSA 10. ChatGPT knows this. ChatGPT is spitting out information that I would probably tell you if I was looking on an auction recap. Any tiny whitening on the black borders, especially bottom corners on the back, right? Or faint surface scratch under the light. PSA 9, 45 to 55%. So basically, it's doing this like high level calculation that your SGC 9.5 has a 35 to 45% of a 10, a 45 to 55% of a PSA 9, and a very, very small probability of a PSA 8. Under PSA 9 mint, which is a 45 to 55%, it sounds like this is almost a 50-50, which is sort of relevant information. Here's the deal. This is ChatGPT. This is just a 2D image. It's not a 3D image. It's not a human being. We don't know if that human being got lucky the night before or if that girlfriend dumped that human male grader at PSA that's going to grade your card over the next 5 months. The human intuition, the human tendencies, the other cards that are placed in front and behind this card will have some type of influence over a human being who is applying, yes, these are regimented standards, but they're being applied by human beings, and human beings are flawed. Human beings differ on opinion. So ChatGPT is sort of giving us at least a rough idea of what they think it's going to grade. And it doesn't sound crazy. Like if it's an SGC 9.5, if you ask me, just not even looking at the card, just say, hey, I got a card in SGC 9.5. What are the odds it gets a PSA 10? And the first thing I do is look at the PSA gem percentage, but just looking at the card, knowing how SGC grades, knowing that it's a subsidiary now of PSA, I would probably say, I don't know, it's either going to grade a 9 or a 10. It's probably not going to grade an 8, but it's probably going to grade a 9 or a 10. I wouldn't be able to get precise, and I don't know how accurate ChatGPT is, right? So again, I'm not making this video to say I've got all the answers. ChatGPT doesn't have all the answers, right? We've seen ChatGPT try to replicate images of me on thumbnails. It doesn't look good, right? It makes me uglier than I already am. So ChatGPT is not perfect, but I think this is pretty cool, right? And if you're new to the hobby, it might be really helpful. The ones of us like, I've probably submitted 25,000 cards. Well, it's probably more than 25,000 cards, probably 50,000 cards to PSA by now. folks like me who have submitted, tens of thousands of cards to PSA, I still like to use my own personal eye test with my own jeweler's loop under my own light over here. I'm not going to trust ChatGPT to do this, but if you're new to the hobby and you don't really have a scrutinizing, trained, experienced eye and a lot of trial and error, like I do with PSA, then maybe you do want to rely on ChatGPT to kind of point you in the right direction. Well, we're going to find out in a couple of months. Scott is going to reach back out to me on this, in a message. He's going to send me a spreadsheet. This is one card, and we don't know what PSA gave it, but he's going to reach back out to me with a bevy of information, and I'm going to share it back with you guys. So stay tuned. Hit the bell icon. Hit the subscribe button, and you will be able to know exactly, at least on a maybe 20, 30 card sample size, how accurate is ChatGPT in estimating grades. And the beautiful thing about this is Scott said a lot of them are cracking resubs. And so Scott's playing that game that a lot of us play, right? You crack a 9.5, you go for this. You crack a BGS 9, you go for this. You crack a PSA 8 that looks like a 10 and you see what's up, right? Maybe you're shooting for a BGS 10. I don't know, but he's cracking a lot of cards, and then he's giving it to ChatGPT, and then he's checking to see what ChatGPT says, and then he's going to come back to us with answers. And then we're going to have some real fun. So stay tuned. Hit the bell icon so you know when that video drops. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. This is the kind of cool stuff that I love to share with you guys, and I can't tell you, I don't know if you can tell how excited I am, but I love it when the folks that watch this channel, the people that have been with me from the beginning, and Scott's been here a long time because I recognize his name and I read every single comment, and I've seen Scott comment on my channel over the past couple years. I love it when you guys reach out to me and say, do this, talk about this. Have you ever thought of this? And that's how I keep going. That's what keeps me going and hitting the record button and bringing you guys the most consistent content in the sports card hobby. And that's why I love doing what I do. I'm happy to bring that information to you. I'm happy to recycle the brilliant ideas that come from you folks that watch the channel. And this is just another example of many times that I've done a video based on requests from folks that watch the channel. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think. Is ChatGPT maybe the gateway to you getting better grades with PSA or SGC or BGS? Do they still grade cards? Any of the three big graders? Let me know if you think ChatGPT is going to be right or wrong. What do you think the percentage accuracy of ChatGPT's projections are going to be? Again, remember, it's going to depend on the quality, the resolution of the pictures, the lighting that was used, and I got to believe that ChatGPT, when you use an image showing it's in an SGC 9.5 slab, ChatGPT is as smart as most of us, and they know that, well, if these graders looked at it and graded it this, then these graders are likely to grade it somewhere around there. So maybe ChatGPT is just cheating, and maybe ChatGPT is deceiving all of us, and they're just basing all of this verbiage on SGC having already graded the card and projecting what PSA would do with the same card. I don't know. It's interesting stuff. We're going to have interesting results in about 5 or 6 months, and I'm certainly going to share that with you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby, and peace.